So let us go out to the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop hundreds of Toyotas indoors in one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. We talk Heat. We love talking to our guy, Wes Goldberg from Locked On Heat. Does a fantastic job on all of our podcast platforms. Go watch him and Dave Vermeil. They recap every game. They do shows all throughout the week, recapping to the news. They do a fantastic show. Go check them on out. Wes, what's going on, man? How are you?
Wes.
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, man. Let's start off with the big news. Tyler Herro goes down with that really unfortunate ankle injury. First off, just what type of blow do you think this is going to be for Miami? Because he was off to a really, really great start, and coming off that awful thing that happened to him in the playoffs with the broken hand. Now he has this fluke thing where he lands on Jaren Jackson. Your reaction to it and what this means for the Heat?
Well, my first reaction to it was, wow, thank goodness it's only 2 weeks, because I thought that email could have easily said Tyler Herro out for the rest of the season with season-ending ankle surgery. That thing bent in a full 90-degree angle. Yeah, that was –
it looked awful.
And then his reaction afterwards, kind of looking at the bench saying, I'm done. You can read his lips. And I'm like, I'm done for the game or I'm done forever? Like, it was like you didn't know.
Right.
So the first response is, okay, 2 weeks. That basically, like, exactly 2 weeks, and these things are never exactly 2 weeks in terms of the reevaluation date, but that would take you to Thanksgiving, right? And so that's basically the whole road trip that the Heat are dealing with right now. 8 of the next 9 are on the road. So for this stretch, they're going to basically be without Tyler Herro. He could be back by the end of the month or maybe early December if all things go well, but it is still a big hole that they need to fill. He was their leading scorer before the early exit on Wednesday, was averaging north of 25 points per game. He is Miami's offense, and I don't think that that's too much of a stretch right now, especially with Jimmy Butler kind of getting off to this slow start. Just a couple of stats for you guys. Miami's offensive rating with Tyler Herro, 111.2. That would rank 15th in the NBA. Not bad, and probably Miami's like goal this year. They're probably an average offense at best. Without Tyler Herro, an offensive rating of 96. That's dead last, not just this season, but basically would be the worst offensive rating since basically 2016. It's that bad without Tyler Herro. There is a lot of work to do.
Tobin wanted to trade him. Jeez.
Hey, man. I apologized to him, and I said he was better than Damian Lillard like 3 days ago. Jesus. It is fair, though. Now, for the Heat, what do you do in this situation, man? Like, we've seen some great stuff from Jaime Jaquez. What do you do in that starting lineup? Do you think they go with the young kid? Do you think that it's Jay Rich? Duncan Robinson's been playing pretty nice, but I don't know if you want to take him off that second unit. What would you do as far as starting these games out for Miami with him out?
I think Spo already told us. He started Duncan Robinson in the third quarter after Herro left. I think he's going to continue to start Duncan Robinson. Don't overthink it. We already saw this formula in the playoffs last year. Tyler Herro goes down, put your best shooter in the starting lineup. Last year it was Max Strus. Now it's going to be Duncan Robinson. But you need Duncan Robinson to take shots. You need Kyle Lowry to take shots.
Right.
You just need it. And I don't even care if they make the shots. They just taking the shots is the most important thing right now, especially from 3-point range. One more stat for you guys. Tyler Herro, 61 3-point attempts this year. The Heat have taken 257 total threes. That's almost 24% of Miami's total 3-point attempts this year. They just got to get them up. And then you just kind of worry about making them later. So I think they'll just go ahead and start Duncan because they need that 3-point shooting.
One of the things that I've just been floored about is the fact that Duncan Robinson is trying so hard to get us to see how he's improved his bag, and we just want him to shoot threes. I mean, how he's going to get away from that and realize that I am the only 3-point shooter here. I got to shoot the threes.
So I'm with you. I've actually been saying on our show, hey, this is cool that you can make layups now, and I'm glad we're having a good time showing off.
Dude.
But take the 3-pointers. Take the 3-pointers. They're worth one more point than the layups. Do that. Now, though, with Herro out, they need that multi-level scoring, right? And so now I'm like, let the Bronco buck. Go off the leash, dude. Go for it. Have fun, man. This is the time for Duncan to show off.
When are this seems like one of those years where the Heat are going to have to depend on young players, and they never really like to do it. When is Yovi going to get his run?
Now would be a really good time. Again, the thing about Tyler Herro, and some people criticize him for this, he's not shy to shoot. The shot selection can be iffy at times. I've never really cared about it. Like I said, I like guys that just do stuff. And I think doing stuff is a really underrated basketball skill.
I see why you and Tobin get along.
I like it. Yep.
Nico, for better or worse, will do stuff. He will just do stuff. And I think the Heat have a shortage of guys who do stuff, of stuff doing, right?
Yeah.
And so Nico will just go out there and he will not be shy to shoot. He will not be shy to do stuff in transition and run the break and just create some offense. So I think it's going to be more of a break glass in case of emergency option for Erik Spoelstra. But if things go south and this offense gets really stuck in the mud, I could see him putting Jovic out there for a few minutes. And there's ways to figure out the rotation because, you're losing a backcourt guy in Herro. Do you want to start basically a front court, give a front court guy more minutes? It's kind of hard to do that with the current rotation, but there's ways to go about it.
Just kind of a big picture here question so far, Wes, with this season. What do you make of Jimmy Butler's year so far?
I don't know what kind of oral dental surgery he had in the preseason, but if he had some laughing gas, I think he might have still been feeling the effects of that for the first week or so. He just looked slow
sluggish
out there.
Right.
Yeah, just super slow. And this isn't normal. And I think a lot of people kind of attribute a coasting in the regular season to Jimmy Butler before he ramps it up in the playoffs. But he usually starts regular seasons off pretty well. He was averaging 22 points on 50% shooting through the first week and a half of last season. And this year it's been the opposite of that. His usage rate is at a low since he joined the Miami Heat. He's just a bystander in this offense. Not playing in the preseason, I think, hurt him. I think he probably made a mistake there, and so did the Heat. He needed to get at least a game in there to get his legs under him. But now he's starting to round into form, and I think we're seeing that happen here. I don't think that the Heat were better because Tyler Herro was out in the playoffs last year, but I think a positive from that was it sort of cleaned up the pecking order and it sort of forced Jimmy Butler to just do more and keep the ball in his hands and run the show. And I think we might be going in that direction here. I think we all have a tendency to be like, okay, next man up when a starter goes down. I understand why teams want to say that, right? And I get it. And there is a certain amount of truth to it, but it's really kind of top down. You need more of a trickle down effect for those next men up to really step up in a meaningful way. Asking guys who are worse than the player who got hurt to do what the player that got hurt does is not a good strategy. You actually need your best players, Jimmy Butler in this instance, to just do more. That's what star players do. Does Jimmy Butler want to take on that kind of load at this point in the season? Probably not, but he doesn't really have a choice.
I'm curious, is this the Kyle Lowry we're going to see until Tyler gets back? Because he seems to have probably the best awareness on the team as far as what is needed. He takes very timely threes. He knows when to be aggressive. And last game without Tyler Herro, he was extremely aggressive. Can we count on him to kind of pick up that slack? Because it's going to be different, but it's going to be very similar in the shots that they take. He's going to take maybe not as many threes. He's going to get to the rim. He's going to take a lot of mid-range jumpers. So that's the guy I look for and say, you know what, if he gives you 15 to 20, that's about as much as you can expect from him. And then Jimmy can pick it up a little bit, and you kind of make it up with two guys instead of one.
Yeah, I think when you, again, go back to the formula last year when Max Strus stepped in for Tyler Herro, one of the benefits of him was, hey, he's just going to shoot. The ball's going to swing to him. He's going to shoot. Green light, go for it. Gabe Vincent did the same thing, right? Especially in pick and rolls with Bam Adebayo against drop coverage specifically, which the Heat are going to see a bunch of that during this trip. It was, hey, green light, go for it. We just need the shot making, the shot taking. I think you're exactly right. I was so impressed with what Lowry did against Memphis. There was an awareness of the moment, what it needs.
Right.
I was a little worried, right? Because he could also maybe retreat to his comfort zone of, hey, I'm a playmaker. Tyler Herro's out. Let me set the table for everybody else, which is the opposite of what Miami needs. The Heat don't need to replace Tyler Herro's playmaking. They need to replace just the scoring. And we saw him with a season high, whatever it was, 17 points against the Grizzlies. They're going to need more of that.
You think Bam keeps this aggression up? Because one thing that has been noticeable early on this season, he's getting to the free throw line a ton, man. He definitely seems to have that switch, and not necessarily, aggressive's always been a buzzword with him, but it really does feel like he has flipped a different type of switch with attacking guys at the rim.
For Heat fans, I would ask you to do this. Look at Bam Adebayo's scoring clips from 2 years ago and look at what he did against Jaren Jackson and Anthony Davis this year. And it's a different player. And Rudy Gobert, it's a different player. He developed that kind of 15-footer free throw line jumper last year, in part because he wanted to float away from those guys. Hey, these guys are bigger than me. Let me see if I can get shots over them. And that was really important for his development. But the next obvious counter was, now that they're playing up on you at 15 feet out, can you put your shoulder in them? Can you get by them? Can you get to the basket? Because as much as we love those mid-range shots, they're not the most efficient looks. You really want to get those shots right at the basket. And he's doing that more now. He's not like, even last year when he had that free throw line jumper, he was kind of like floating away when he rose up, and he would like give up like a foot or two, and like 13-footers became 15-footers, 15-footers became 17-footers. He's kind of doing the opposite now. Right. Like now these 15-footers, and he's sort of just jumping into guys, or he's got like this nice jab step now, or even better, like sometimes there's not even a move. Sometimes he just takes his left shoulder and just moves the guy out of the way. And that's my favorite version of Bam Adebayo.
He looks a little stronger, and I think it looks like it's paying off for him too. Like he's really become more imposing, it feels like.
Now you're getting 2 or 3 feet closer to the basket as opposed to further away, or even better, you're getting all the way to the rim. I love what Bam Adebayo has done. I think we'll continue to see this aggressiveness. I think with or without Tyler Herro, that was just a point that they wanted to make with him, specifically too. Getting to the free throw line is going to be so important for him. And I think this is just the version of Bam. I think this is his offense now.
Before we get you out of here, Wes, I need your reaction. Tomorrow, Heat take on the Atlanta Hawks. What do you think of this? This was their advertisement they had just put out on the web.
Only Hawks fans know what they really want to see. And only Hawks fans know just where to get it. The all-new NBA in-season tournament. Join in and wake up your wild side. Hot 5-on-5 action.
What the hell?
Did somebody hack their Twitter account? What is that?
Dude, I don't know. DeJounte Murray came out and said, please delete this. I don't know what that is, but it has 30 million views on Twitter.
I don't like fully even understand it. I
didn't know what it was for. I thought it was for the fan store. I didn't know it was for the in-season tournament. I thought, go
if they lose
your Hawks stuff.
If they lose 3 straight games, we know why. It's because of this video. That's awful. I think they need to make an investigation. They need to see if somebody hacked their account, because that looks like a joke. With that hot 5-on-5 action whisper at the end, like it's not. How is this real?
It's too sensual. Bernie would never.
Here's the worst part about this, because I'm stupid, right? And guess what I go? I go, hey, why is the mascot talking? Mascots don't talk.
That's exactly it. Harry the Hawk.
You know what the in-season tournament is? I feel like they don't really fully understand what the in-season tournament is. Like anybody else, like, is it an orgy? Like, okay.
We're all very confused by it. Leroy asked, he goes, was Monday in-season tournament? Like, when
I don't know. Like, when do they play these games?
If lava, it is an in-season tournament game.
That's if it's a weird court, in-season tournament. That's
they're doing it exactly. They're doing it exactly like soccer. Is that you play 3 league games, and then you go back and play one of those same teams, but this is for America's Cup.
Very strange.
Right. Yeah.
Very strange. Go check out Wes Goldberg on Locked On Heat. Him and Dave Vermeil do a fantastic job. Wes does a great job because he catches work, covers the Heat. Where can people follow you on Twitter, Wes?
WC Goldberg.
WC Goldberg. Check him on out, and does fantastic work. Thank you, man. Appreciate the time.
Thanks
Wes.
guys.
There you go. Wes Goldberg, always fun talking to you.
I feel like
you feel dirty.
I feel like J-Fig, like uncomfortable. Like I
want to kill that bird.
Wait, what's not to like?
You like the horny Hawks.
I mean, come on, sex dolls. Why not?
Know where the real action is. Only Hawks fans know what they really want to see.
It's mid-season
And
tournament.
only Hawks fans know just where to get it.
Isn't OnlyFans gonna sue him?
Mascot.
The all-new NBA in-season tournament. Join in and wake up your wild side. Hot 5-on-5 action.
That's good.
I think even the mascot is saying, "Are we really doing this?"
They missed a good opportunity to go the in-season tournament.
Oh, Dan,
Who knows?
Dan,
Hey,
can
Dan,
I
who
just
knows
say
this?
something, Dan? I've never been more uncomfortable around you than you tried to pitch this. Right? Like,
I mean, it speaks to me. Who doesn't like in-season tournament with a mascot kind of frolicking around in the sheets?
The mascot, he is frolicking.
How did that shoot go to, by the way? So, kind of, make it sexy. Let's go.
Can you
It's like-
just be a
Now-
little tease, Harry the Hawk, with your.
is
with your-
that a lady hawk?
No, that's Harry the Hawk.
Oh, so oh,
His name is Harry the Hawk.
Harry the Hawk.
Oh Lord.